Welcome to our video series, Conceptual Relationships of Words in the English Language. In this series, we present English vocabulary in a structured and hierarchical manner. Each video showcases a range of terms and their corresponding definitions, presented in an organized sequence from broader concepts to more specific details. The series is divided into playlists, videos, and sections, each delving into distinct aspects of the English language. To get the most out of these videos, here are some of the suggested uses. We will be using WordNet as our primary reference throughout the series. For detailed information about WordNet, please visit the official WordNet website. If you're new to our channel, we recommend starting with our introductory videos. They provide essential context for understanding our approach, purpose, and methodology. For simpler navigation, we presented an outline of the terms and relationships in one of these introductory videos. Remember to show your support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. In this episode, we will explore physical properties. It will cover properties such as length, weight, mass, mechanical properties, thermal properties, and optical properties. This video is part of the playlist attribute. Attribute playlist is one of two playlists devoted for the conceptual domain attribute. Attributes are linguistic elements that serve as modifiers to provide descriptive information about another word. They convey qualities, characteristics, or properties associated with the entities they modify, enriching the meaning and context of the expression. Section 1. In this section we will explore the physical properties length and weight.
Property. Property.
A basic or essential attribute shared by all members of a class.
A study of the physical properties of atomic particles.
Physical property. Physical property.
Any property used to characterize matter and energy and their interactions.
Length. Length.
The linear extent in space from one end to the other, the longest dimension of something that is fixed in place.
The length of the table was 5 feet.
Circumference. Circumference.
The length of the closed curve of a circle.
Diameter. Diameter.
The length of a straight line passing through the center of a circle and connecting 2 points on the circumference.
Bore. Bore.
Diameter of a tube or gun barrel.
Windage. Windage.
The space between the projectile of a smoothbore gun and the surface of the bore of the gun.
Longness. Longness.
The property of being of long spatial extent.
One gene causes shortness and the other causes longness.
Elongation. Elongation.
The quality of being elongated.
Extension. Extension.
Amount or degree or range to which something extends.
The wire has an extension of 50 feet.
Coextension. Coextension.
Equality of extension or duration.
Radius. Radius.
The length of a line segment between the center and circumference of a circle or sphere.
Radius of curvature. Radius of curvature.
The radius of the circle of curvature, the absolute value of the reciprocal of the curvature of a curve at a given point.
Semidiameter. Semidiameter.
The apparent radius of a celestial body when viewed as a disk from the Earth.
Shortness. Shortness.
The property of being of short spatial extent.
The shortness of the channel crossing.
Weight. Weight.
The vertical force exerted by a mass as a result of gravity.
Body weight. Body weight.
The weight of a person's body.
Reporting weight. Reporting weight.
A person's body weight, as an athlete's, at the beginning of the season, when first reporting for practice.
Dead weight. Dead weight.
A heavy motionless weight.
Heaviness. Heaviness.
The property of being comparatively great in weight.
The heaviness of lead.
Heft. Heft.
The property of being large in mass.
Preponderance. Preponderance.
Exceeding in heaviness, having greater weight.
The least preponderance in either pan will unbalance the scale.
Lightness. Lightness.
The property of being comparatively small in weight.
The lightness of balsa wood.
Airiness. Airiness.
The property of something weightless and insubstantial.
Poundage. Poundage.
Weight expressed in pounds.
Tear. Tear.
The weight of a motor vehicle, railroad car, or aircraft without its fuel or cargo.
Throw weight. Throw weight.
The weight of the payload of a missile, not including the weight of the rocket. Section 2. In this section we will explore the physical property mass.
Mass. Mass.
The property of a body that causes it to have weight in a gravitational field.
Atomic mass. Atomic mass.
Chemistry, the mass of an atom of a chemical element expressed in atomic mass units.
Equivalent. Equivalent.
The atomic weight of an element that has the same combining capacity as a given weight of another element. The standard is 8 for oxygen.
Milliequivalent. Milliequivalent.
1/1000th of an equivalent.
Biomass. Biomass.
The total mass of living matter in a given unit area.
Body. Body.
The main mass of a thing.
Bulk. Bulk.
The property possessed by a large mass.
Critical mass. Critical mass.
The minimum mass of fissionable material that can sustain a chain reaction.
Gravitational mass. Gravitational mass.
Physics, the mass of a body is measured by its gravitational attraction for other bodies.
Inertial mass. Inertial mass.
Physics, the mass of a body is determined by the second law of motion from the acceleration of the body when it is subjected to a force that is not due to gravity.
Mass defect. Mass defect.
The amount by which the mass of an atomic nucleus is less than the sum of the masses of its constituent particles.
Mass energy. Mass energy.
Physics, the mass of a body regarded relativistically as energy.
Molecular weight. Molecular weight.
Chemistry, the sum of the relative atomic masses of the constituent atoms of a molecule.
Relativistic mass. Relativistic mass.
Physics, the mass of a body in motion relative to the observer. It is equal to the rest mass multiplied by a factor that is greater than 1, and that increases as the magnitude of the velocity increases.
Rest mass. Rest mass.
Physics, the mass of a body is measured when the body is at rest relative to an observer, an inherent property of the body. Section 3. In this section we will explore some mechanical properties such as deflection, elasticity and malleability.
Deflection. Deflection.
The property of being bent or deflected.
Refractivity. Refractivity.
The physical property of a medium is determined by its index of refraction.
Windage. Windage.
The deflection of a projectile resulting from the effects of wind.
Elasticity. Elasticity.
The tendency of a body to return to its original shape after it has been stretched or compressed.
The waistband had lost its snap.
Bounce. Bounce.
The quality of a substance that is able to rebound.
Elasticity of shear. Elasticity of shear.
The elasticity of a body that has been pulled out of shape by a shearing force.
Give. Give.
The elasticity of something that can be stretched and returns to its original length.
Resilience. Resilience.
The physical property of a material that can return to its original shape or position after deformation, that does not exceed its elastic limit.
Stretch. Stretch.
The capacity for being stretched.
Temper. Temper.
The elasticity and hardness of a metal object, its ability to absorb considerable energy before cracking.
Inelasticity. Inelasticity.
The lack of elasticity.
Deadness. Deadness.
The physical property of something that has lost its elasticity.
He objected to the deadness of the tennis balls.
Rigidity. Rigidity.
The physical property of being stiff and resisting bending.
Inflexibility. Inflexibility.
The lack of physical flexibility.
Stiffness. Stiffness.
The physical property of being inflexible and hard to bend.
Malleability. Malleability.
The property of being physically malleable, the property of something that can be worked or hammered or shaped without breaking.
Ductility. Ductility.
The malleability of something that can be drawn into threads or wires or hammered into thin sheets.
Flexibility. Flexibility.
The property of being flexible, easily bent or shaped.
Bendability. Bendability.
The property of being easily bent without breaking.
Pliancy. Pliancy.
The property of being pliant and flexible.
Whip. Whip.
Golf, the flexibility of the shaft of a golf club.
Unmalleability. Unmalleability.
The lack of malleability. Section 4. In this section we will explore thermal properties such as heat content and temperature.
Heat content. Heat content.
Thermodynamics, a thermodynamic quantity equal to the internal energy of a system, plus the product of its volume and pressure.
Enthalpy is the amount of energy in a system capable of doing mechanical work.
Temperature. Temperature.
The degree of hotness or coldness of a body or environment, corresponding to its molecular activity.
Absolute temperature. Absolute temperature.
Temperature measured on the absolute scale.
Absolute zero. Absolute zero.
Cryogenics, the lowest temperature theoretically attainable, at which the kinetic energy of atoms and molecules is minimal, 0 Kelvin or minus 273.15 centigrade or minus 459.67 Fahrenheit.
Body temperature. Body temperature.
Temperature of the body, normally 98.6 F or 37 C in humans, usually measured to obtain a quick evaluation of a person's health.
Basal body temperature. Basal body temperature.
Body temperature in the morning before rising or moving about or eating anything.
Room temperature. Room temperature.
The normal temperature of room in which people live.
Boiling point. Boiling point.
The temperature at which a liquid boils at sea level.
They brought the water to a boil.
Freezing point. Freezing point.
The temperature below which a liquid turns into a solid.
Coldness. Coldness.
The absence of heat.
The coldness made our breath visible.
Chill. Chill.
Coldness due to a cold environment.
Chilliness. Chilliness.
The property of being moderately cold.
The chilliness of early morning.
Cool. Cool.
The quality of being at a refreshingly low temperature.
The cool of early morning.
Frostiness. Frostiness.
Coldness is evidenced by frost.
Hotness. Hotness.
The presence of heat.
Calefaction. Calefaction.
The property of being warming.
Fieriness. Fieriness.
The heat or the color of fire.
Torridity. Torridity.
Extreme heat.
Warmth. Warmth.
The quality of having a moderate degree of heat.
An agreeable warmth in the house.
Lukewarmness. Lukewarmness.
A warmness resembling the temperature of the skin.
White heat. White heat.
The hotness of something heated until it turns white.
Curie temperature. Curie temperature.
The temperature above which a ferromagnetic substance loses its ferromagnetism and becomes paramagnetic.
Dew point. Dew point.
The temperature at which the water vapor in the air becomes saturated and condensation begins.
Flashpoint. Flashpoint.
The lowest temperature at which the vapor of a combustible liquid can be ignited in air.
Mercury. Mercury.
Temperature measured by a mercury thermometer.
The mercury was falling rapidly.
Simmer. Simmer.
Temperature just below the boiling point.
The stew remained at a simmer for hours.
Section 5. In this section we will explore optical and sensory properties such as invisibility, luminosity, inaudibility, sensitivity.
Invisibility. Invisibility.
The quality of not being perceivable by the eye.
Inconspicuousness. Inconspicuousness.
The quality of being not easily seen.
Unnoticeableness. Unnoticeableness.
The quality of being not easily noticed.
Unobtrusiveness. Unobtrusiveness.
The quality of not sticking out in an unwelcome way.
Luminosity. Luminosity.
The quality of being luminous, emitting or reflecting light.
Its luminosity is measured relative to that of our sun.
Illuminance. Illuminance.
The luminous flux incident on a unit area.
Incandescence. Incandescence.
Light from heat.
Luminescence. Luminescence.
Light from non-thermal sources.
Reflection. Reflection.
The ability to reflect beams or rays.
Echo. Echo.
The repetition of a sound resulting from reflection of the sound waves.
She could hear echoes of her own footsteps.
Re-echo. Re-echo.
The echo of an echo.
Echo. Echo.
A reflected television or radio or radar beam.
Perceptibility. Perceptibility.
The property of being perceptible by the mind or the senses.
Audibility. Audibility.
Quality or fact or degree of being audible or perceptible by the ear.
Visibility. Visibility.
Quality or fact or degree of being visible, perceptible by the eye or obvious to the eye.
Low visibility caused by fog.
Conspicuousness. Conspicuousness.
High visibility.
Boldness. Boldness.
The quality of standing out strongly and distinctly.
Obtrusiveness. Obtrusiveness.
An unwelcome conspicuousness.
Obviousness. Obviousness.
The property of being easy to see and understand.
Apparentness. Apparentness.
The property of being apparent.
Blatancy. Blatancy.
The property of being both obvious and offensive.
The blatancy of his attempt to whitewash the crime was unforgivable.
Predomination. Predomination.
The quality of being more noticeable than anything else.
The predomination of blues gave the painting a quiet tone.
Visual range. Visual range.
Distance at which a given standard object can be seen with the unaided eye.
Imperceptibility. Imperceptibility.
The property of being imperceptible by the mind or the senses.
Inaudibility. Inaudibility.
The quality of not being perceptible by the ear.
Sensitivity. Sensitivity.
The ability to respond to physical stimuli or to register small physical amounts or differences.
The sensitiveness of mimosa leaves does not depend on a change of growth.
Frequency response. Frequency response.
Electronics, a curve representing the output to input ratio of a transducer as a function of frequency. Section 6. In this section we will explore some miscellaneous physical properties.
Momentum. Momentum.
The product of a body's mass and its velocity.
The momentum of the particles was deduced from meteoritic velocities.
Angular momentum. Angular momentum.
The product of the momentum of a rotating body and its distance from the axis of rotation.
Any rotating body has an angular momentum about its center of mass.
Absorptivity. Absorptivity.
Physics, the property of a body that determines the fraction of the incident radiation or sound flux absorbed or absorbable by the body.
Dissolubility. Dissolubility.
The property of being dissoluble.
We measure the dissolubility of sugar in water.
drippiness, drippiness,
The physical property of being soft and drippy.
fugacity, fugacity,
The tendency of a gas to expand or escape.
magnetization, magnetization,
The physical property of being magnetic.
reluctivity, reluctivity,
Physics, the resistance of a material to the establishment of a magnetic field in it.
randomness, randomness,
Thermodynamics, a thermodynamic quantity representing the amount of energy in a system that is no longer available for doing mechanical work.
Entropy increases as matter and energy in the universe degrade to an ultimate state of inert uniformity.
conformational entropy, conformational entropy,
Entropy calculated from the probability that a state could be reached by chance alone. End of episode. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. In the next episode, we will present attribution.